All right, bold prediction time. I think that Australia will legalise cannabis within the next 4 years. Now, right up front, I've never smoked pot. I don't smoke pot. I understand what some of the consequences can be of a drugged up and dumbed down society, but I'll tell you why it's going to happen. In Victoria, the legalised cannabis people are needed to get anything passed through the upper house along with the Greens to give Daniel Andrews whatever they want. Now, the expectation is that they'll go along with almost anything, maybe even another lockdown, as long as they get closer to their goal. And the fact that Victoria was one of the first states in the country to legalise euthanasia means they're willing to take a big step first. So don't be surprised if it's Victoria, and there's lots of complicated issues about what can and can't be legalised from a state and federal level, but I'll keep it nice and simple, that Victoria will be the first of the states to legalise or near legalise cannabis within the next 4 years. Which is why the Greens, who have long been on this issue, are starting to say that there is a money benefit for it to be happening right across the whole country. David Shoebridge is a New South Wales Greens senator, and he went and asked the Parliamentary Budget Office, the same mob that did all of the costings for Albo and his mates before the last federal election, about just how much money could be made out of putting a tobacco-style tax on legalised cannabis or marijuana. Well, the numbers are massive. Remember, this would be a voluntary tax, but over the next 10 years, if it was just 15% on top of the sale, whatever the heck that price would end up being, it could be $28.2 billion. If you bump the tax up to 25%, which is still below the amount that they tax tobacco, it could be $36.6 billion over the next 10 years. Now, that's the thing about vice taxes, like taxes on alcohol or on tobacco or potentially on marijuana. These are voluntary. It's not compulsory to consume, and therefore, because it's a minority of the population who want these products, you can keep pushing it up and pushing it up and pushing it up, and they'll keep buying. Remember, the number of smokers in Australia has reduced, but the tax is bigger than ever before. Tobacco taxes over the next 10 years, based off the current annual number in the budget, would be $124 billion. So see, my prediction doesn't seem that crazy after all, does it? A voluntary tax that could produce tens of billions of dollars, with a super lefty state like Victoria leading the way. Mark my words, I think this happens in the next 4 years or so. But then the particularly dumb part of the idea, and please don't confuse this as me saying this should happen, it's just me predicting it will happen, is the Greens suggest that that extra money should go onto the dole, where presumably a significant number of people would use that to keep buying marijuana, which would mean they're funding their own dole increase. That's the Greens. Even if it's a sort of maybe okay idea, they find a way to make it crazy.